And here again, we are stating that Mars and Jupiter will be conjunct November 15th and 16th of November 2026, and it is 13 months from our top, and our average for the last four cycles has been 13.5 months for a low, and then the market flips. So 13 months will be here, and 13 and a half will end up being here. So we have, again, this anomaly of these two planets coming together from a right angle square to a conjunction. And I expect that the low will be in, and we will be starting to move again in an upward fashion. Not quickly, however, it's going to take some time for a distribution. I think that the Clarity Act will also be still voted on and passing sometime in this period of November. And again, this can carry on into the early part of 2027, and somewhere around a March-April period, we could see the Clarity Act becoming into full law, or passing what we would call the act in its totality. So I expect that the market would have, at that time, a change in trend, and we would be starting to move up. And I've put down in our report that I've already found the top for the next market high. I think I did tell you guys this some time back, but it's not very difficult to find the next top based upon the cycles that have occurred in the past. Will we have a change and a breakout of that cycle and a breakdown? Well, it's possible. However, that is our guide stone and our measuring stick. So knowing that, I've pointed out the dates where I think the Bitcoin market will top out in terms of timing, because as I've stated before, in the last four cycles, it's been within a week or two, or within 30 days of 1,060, 67 days. So keeping in mind that, if you were to just take your pointer in your measuring tool in your trading platform and measure forward from the dates of October or the November 15th, which I just showed you, you would be able to as well catalog and see where the next tops are coming in, which I state should be around that October or the August period of 2029, which would complete our 100-year cycle from 1929. And I feel that we're going to see a large capitulation again, with yet another 1-year bear market or 13-month bear market from that period. And I've mapped all that out already, and that's what I do. I'm a market analyst, and I love numbers. I'm a mathematician and a computer scientist, so I'm completely enthralled with numerical dates and what can happen in the future, and of course planning those things based upon the past. Now, the past is but a repetition of the future, as the Bible states. Doesn't mean it always has to be exactly the same, but it sure rhymes very close. So I wanted to point that out to you guys today, that's how I find these tops and bottoms, and why I'm so confident. I know I get a lot of negative comments that I was going to be wrong when the top comes in October, November, and I weathered many comments. However, it's come to fruition, and from there I was warning you to be careful, and now I'm warning you to be careful of these bear market rallies, as they trap traders into thinking we're entering a new bull market, when in fact we're still in the midst of our bear market campaign, which will continue on, in my opinion, till the October-November period. However, we could start to see a bottoming pattern starting to form in late September and into the October and November period. We could also see a 12-month capitulation from our July top in 2025, was we really didn't really break much higher above July and that August top. So if you take again your counter and you place it on your July or August top and come out 13, 12 and 13 months or 13 and a half months, you'll find time frames where you can expect the market will yield and we will have a turnaround. Next, we're going to discuss the square again with our longitude of price, and we're going to just reset the square. So our time ring, which we have March 21st at 0 degrees, will stay here in a fixed position. And what we will do now is we will bring this all the way back to a 0. We bring 0 or 36, which is our beginning and ending of our circle, and we will align it with March 21st, and then we're going to put the planets on, and then you can have a look at how I determined this top that was coming in. I was a little bit early on calling the top. I was expecting that the top would come in around the 77